Hey y'all, it's been a long time coming. Welcome back. It's your girl Tanisha Shantez, and y'all know I got a good one for you. So today we're gonna do the candy grapes tutorial, finally. So what we're doing now is we're gonna prep the grapes. I have a preference of longer toothpicks versus the smaller ones, which I did show an example of the difference. It's a safety thing. Less likely to get my fingertips into the candy mix. So before we get too deep into this, I do want to make clear that this is just for this tutorial. Hence the no gloves. I didn't have any more, and I wanted to get this out to y'all because I know y'all are gonna love it. Only a couple of grapes. I just wanted you to see how I make my candy grapes. I no longer sell these or anything. If anything, my kids may eat them. That's just for the naysayers or commenters that I know will be coming for my fingers. So you're gonna see food coloring on them. You're gonna see all that because I'm just showing y'all. Again, I'm not selling these to anyone. So let's get back to what we're doing. So I like to put the toothpick on the opposite side of the hole of the grape. It just, to me, gives it a better look when I dip, and also it prevents a lot of the juice from seeping through. So we're just gonna insert this. You don't have to go all the way through. You really don't want to stick the toothpick all the way through to the other side. You want to make sure it's just midway, so they won't slip off when they're being dipped. This is probably one of the longer tutorial videos because I kind of wanted to get more in depth on the time it takes. So I do have some time lapse of the candy actually cooking. So I'm excited about that. But yeah, this is gonna be the part where you just, imagine having 100 of these. They used to sell them by the pan, so it's like 50 or 100 of these, and you're doing this to it. You think it's not necessary to get this done first, but trust me, it is because the candy cooks fast. So always prep first. That's with anything you do, but definitely with grapes because even though they're small, they're time consuming. So you definitely want to get those grapes prepped. You can still use regular toothpicks. I know these are hard to find. I'll definitely try to link them in the Amazon storefront. They're more so on the skewer side of things, but they're not as thick and they're not as long. But kind of like your party skewer, but definitely saves your fingers because even with gloves on, candy gets hot. And working with something so small, you want to kind of be careful. But yeah, once you get them all done, I think I'm kind of picking out the bad ones because you don't want any that are too soft, mushy, or ugly like that. You don't want that. Like, just you will lose a lot of grapes along the way. But yeah, you definitely want to make sure that you have everything you need already ready. What I do is put the grapes into a bowl like I have it, water and vinegar. That was another mushy one, y'all see. And I let it sit for at least 5 minutes, and you'll see a lot of the dirt and stuff come off of the grapes. And then you can kind of pat them dry and let them sit until you're ready. So we're doing the Jolly Rancher candy grapes. There's so many different methods. You see so many different people doing it their way. This is my way. Please wear gloves. Please wear gloves when you do all of this. Like, no part of the candy grape process should be gloveless because you're literally they're not getting in the way. So just wear them. Everything gets messy. Everything gets sticky. So it just prevents a headache and it prevents your hands from being a mess like mine will be by the end of this video. But a lot of people just, you don't want nobody's fingers on your candy. So if it's for home, no problem. I did wash my hands about a million times, but still, I still wanted my gloves. I just didn't have the time to go get them or wait on them to come. Um, so that is about half a cup of sugar, you see. So I poured half a cup just to prevent the candy from completely sticking. This is a Ninja super cheap blender. Any blender that dices veggies, fruits, and things like that up can pretty much blend. I wouldn't go for the super cheap Walmart ones because what the candy does is breaks the glass or the plastic on the side. So Ninja is super good for this. Target, Walmart has them. I'll try to remember to link that in the Amazon storefront as well. But you could do variety pack of Jolly Ranchers. If you want to do one color, you can order those on Amazon. Sometimes they're in the store, but I'm usually pretty lucky on Amazon. These were $1 a piece. I just did 2 bags again because it's not an order. It's just a small batch. But usually when I used to do the 100 um, grapes, I would need a lot of these bags. So I started just getting the large Jolly Rancher bag. And yeah, that made a big difference. So I'm just trying to kind of clean up behind myself. Like I said, I wasn't cutting a lot in this video because I want you to see like the real deal, how this really works. So we're on to the next pack. Yes, I'm putting all of them in there. I don't fill it up all the way to the top if I do have a big thing that I'm doing, but I try to get it to the at least the top blade so that everything will be blended and it doesn't give me a hard time. This one blended so good just because it wasn't a lot of them, and I think I just did it perfectly this time for y'all. But sometimes the candy, depending on if it's been sitting out or if it's sticky, you know, Jolly Ranchers can be really sticky sometimes, then it'll get stuck on the sides and you'll kind of have to use a spatula or a spoon or something to unstick the candy and then try again. But you'll see how I blend and what I do to get the candy as fine as I want it. I don't go super fine. I know a lot of people just do the powdered method and it's just a powder candy coating. I don't do that. I want some pieces of the Jolly Rancher there. It enhances the flavor to me. Because when the Jolly Rancher is blended all the way to like dust, I feel like it doesn't taste the same. But that's just my opinion. So we're almost done with the process of putting these Jolly Ranchers in here. Like I said, this is very tedious. Like, although they look like, oh, that shouldn't take much time, it takes a lot of time to make a candy grape. So pack your patience if you want to try this. Super easy. No, I do not melt the Jolly Ranchers in silicone. None of that. I make my candy just like I make my candy apples. So you'll see that next. But yeah, I mean, there's so many methods to it, but this is foolproof. If you want it to last, like I said, for parties and stuff, put them in the freezer for storage, get them out when everybody's ready to eat them, and have a ball with them. So that's the remaining sugar I just put in there. And then, fun fact, I do mine semi-sour. Citric acid is my friend. So we have a lot of more treats that I have coming up that I use this for, but citric acid is one of the main things. So I always try to use very little. You got to be careful with this stuff. So this is a tablespoon, and as you can see, I did a half a tablespoon, and that's all you really need. So it just depends on the sour effect. I have clients that used to request super sour, so of course then you will use more. Then a hint of powdered sugar. As you can see, that was a tablespoon of powdered sugar. That just gives it that look that you're going for, that kind of dust background to me. I don't think it changes the flavor at all. But this is the blend. This is what you want to see right away. You see, it's perfect. Actually, it's crushing very well. So what I like to do is take it out the first time because you can't see the middle and pour it out. Then re-pour it back in to kind of switch it around and blend one more time to give it that smooth consistency that I'm looking for. This is my best friend. This bowl right here I got from a restaurant depot, but I'm sure any stainless steel bowl, little lightweight bowl you can get. What it does is it prevents the candy from being sticky. It keeps it cold. So I sit this in the refrigerator until my candy is done making so that it is ready to be dipped. when my candy is finished. So that's a tip. You can use a regular bowl, but you will definitely see the difference. That stainless steel bowl has never steered me wrong. So let's pour it in. Now we're done. So as you can see, you still see like the colors from the Jolly Ranchers and things like that. That's what we want to see. We don't want to disintegrate them. So here is the famous candy mix everybody loves. My previous videos. So comment below if you've already tried it on your candy apples. So I'm not doing 411. Why? Because it's a small batch. So I'm going to do 2 cups of sugar, a half a cup of karo syrup, and a half a cup of water. So we're pretty much putting the 411 method in half. So let's say if you got a quick apple, you need to make 4 apples, or you need to make a small batch of candy grapes. That's what you're gonna do, because you don't want to waste it. A lot of candy for no reason. So we're gonna mix that up until it's well incorporated. We want to get that milky look and texture so that the candy can cook to a really nice consistency, because you're not going to be stirring throughout. You're going to let it do its job. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just stirring to make sure that the candy has a great consistency. And that's pretty much what we want to see. Yep, looking nice. So I wanted to give y'all a different view on how this thing goes. So candy thermometer, of course, all of this is listed in my Amazon storefront. This is the Walmart pot that I got a while back. So not the biggest and not the smallest. It's like the medium size. It does no wrong on small batches. So I wanted to give y'all a different view to let y'all see how this candy cooks. So check it out. Okay, so we're about at the 250 mark. So I just added the blueberry flavoring. I suggest 2 drums of that. I have flavoring in my Amazon storefront. But then once we got to 300, of course, we took it off and we're ready to roll. So this is white food coloring. You can pretty much use any pure white color. And this is, I believe, Chef Master's Sky Blue that I'm using. And I did a couple of drops. Yes, I add my color after the candy has cooked. I know some people do it during. I just feel like I get a better view when I add it after the candy gets finished cooking. So get you a silicone spatula of some sort, something that's not going to melt because it's extremely hot, and stir until you get the consistency and color that you're looking for. So I didn't have to add any more color to this. As you can see, the blue pretty much did what it needed to do. And the reason I chose this color is because I'm doing a blueberry flavor, so it only made sense. Will you see the color? Just a little bit, because remember, we're using color for Jolly Ranchers. Now, a suggestion would be to purchase the all blues. It would be so pretty. But this is just my generic candy mix that I use. So I just want to show y'all. As you can see, the candy is ready and pretty. Not a lot of bubbles or anything, even with all of that stirring. Because I know some people think that doing that after will make a lot of bubbles. Depends on your consistency of your candy mix, I believe. So I haven't had that issue. So yeah, let's get the dipping. So as you can see, the distance between my finger and the pot because of the long toothpick. So I literally just start rolling it You can cover the entire grape. I usually try to leave some for the reason so they can see how pretty the color is, first of all, and then it just depends. So you'll see me dip some all the way. You'll see me just roll some. It just depends on what I'm looking to do. But yeah, you want to dip right away into the candy because as y'all know already, this candy mix does not play. It will dry and you won't be able to do anything. Um, so that's why I have it right next to it. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but the frost on that bowl, that's what I'm talking about. That's what stops my candy from sticking and uh, all of the craziness that candy will do. So you see that one came off of the toothpick. You just slide it right back on there and sit it down before it dries. Don't be overwhelmed. Don't be afraid of that. But that's why it's important to get that cute toothpick in the middle of the grape to prevent that from happening. That way you can roll around and it won't happen. So these are the ones with the candy coating, and I'm also going to show you some without, just the pretty blue by itself. So some people don't want the candy topping; they just want the candy, the regular candy dip. So I'll show you both so you can see the difference. So guys, we're just about done dipping. Make sure you give yourself space. I was in a tight little spot, but give yourself space, especially if you're going to use the long toothpicks, because they take up a lot of room and they will stick to the candy until it dries. So um, give yourself enough space to spread these out. Like I said, this was a small batch, so I didn't really need a lot of room, but I could have given myself a little more space. I didn't realize I still had so many to go. But as you can see, like the shine on the ones without the candy topping, like amazing. So um, these are definitely something you want to at least try once. I mean, the flavor, I freeze mine. I do not let them sit in the fridge. I freeze mine. I tell my customers to freeze them um, unless you're ready to eat right away. And yeah, probably the best crunch you'll ever have. So yeah, just stick to that. Bringing the candy up to the 300 degrees. Immediately bring it off the heat, dip them, and dip them in the candy toppings. And it's pretty much foolproof. If you can do the candy apples, you can definitely do the candy grapes. And I'll be showing more tutorials on different options you have with the candy grapes too. I think it's important to show that there's so many different ways you can do it. But I'm going to show you 3 ways that I would do when I'm serving candy grapes. But first, let's do a little drizzle. So we're going to drizzle the ones that don't have the candy topping. So I'm kind of getting them in the order. So yeah, once you get them as straight as you can, you just use one of the toothpicks and dip it into the candy and then drizzle. I wasn't careful right here. They weren't dry yet, so they did stick together, but not a big deal. Like I said, this isn't for anybody. So take the end of the toothpick and just literally drizzle. Remember, you're not giving them the toothpicks, so it's not a big deal that it's getting on the toothpicks. But there is a neater way. Of course, if you put them all in one line, you'll probably get a better process. But you can rub the excess off once it's dry. And yeah, it just gives that cute drizzle effect. You can do this with apples too, but I try to stay away from it just because my apples are so nice by themselves. I don't feel like they need it. But I may do a tutorial on it. So as you can see, they're dry. So we're just pulling them off. Some will be easier than others, but they'll come off. So this is all candy coated, candy topped in this particular container. I always, always, always suggest adding like a little touch on it. So mine's would be the gummy candy. So you can do gummy worms, gummy bears. These are gummy squares or cubes. I just feel like that just tops off the little candy grape effect. So this one is going to be a mixture. So we're going to do the regular ones and the drizzle ones. Like I said, that candy, the excess just rubs right off. So you just drop it in there. When they shake around, it'll come off. So you're going to put those in there. And you're going to mix the other ones on with them. And I'll show you what we do with that in just a second. Okay, so we're adding the candy. And the last container is going to be a mixture as well. And it's just going to be a regular mixture. We're going to come back to that other one. Kids is going to love this tonight. Again, you still want to have your gloves on this process. So we're going to add our candy. And these actually, I try to find them on Amazon. They have tops. And then we have the blue raspberry candy syrup for this particular one. You can give them this on the side and they can put it on when they're ready to eat. These are the candy grapes, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I definitely appreciate the love you've shown. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next one.